Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled American Charaidim, Israeli Charaidim, and the Ramat Shemesh bubble. It was fascinating to see the Chafetz Chaim presentation on Tisha B'Av. Beautiful, beautiful presentation on Avat HaKamocha, and certainly an area that we all need work on all year long, especially on Tisha B'Av. Shmuel Kamenetsky and other speakers speak about the mitzvah HaKamocha, love on a fellow Jew, giving chizik, strengthening each other and being there for each other. Beautiful ideas. What was startling for me was that 6-7 minute piece of the video was a law student in America, who is in the middle of working on his degree, and he talks about a story that happened to him. That the professor claimed there was an issue with plagiarism, and it reached the high levels of the law court system, the law school court system. He was almost going to be removed. That whole story. And he tried to figure out, why is Hashem doing this to me? And he said, well, maybe I realized that someone once sent me a picture on a WhatsApp of another Jew, and I sent it to others, and then maybe that was like Lashon Hara, and he was trying to do tshuva, and then he went to Chafetz Chaim Heritage Foundation, the whole story. But what's my point? I'm thinking about that story. And then there's another story of a wonderful Rav who told such incredible, moving and motivating stories. And it's about a student who's having trouble, but said, Baruch Hashem, now he's a fine Rebbe in a school now. And I was thinking, this is American Haredi, which is Chafetz Chaim Heritage Foundation. And it would never fly in the Israeli Haredi system. Meaning, the idea of having on their yearly video, they put so much money and effort into this. This is an international video that's watched. Who are they featuring? A law student in Israel. That model of a boy going through the system here and ending up in law school. That's not a model that was going to be presented here. And that he even has a phone with WhatsApp. Now, I'm all into having phones with filters and more filters for a young man, anyone. A man, an older man, to have a smartphone with no filter on, where you get exposure to everything. To me, that is dangerous. But here they're featuring someone with WhatsApp. I hope that WhatsApp had a filter upon it, but he has a WhatsApp, and that was part of the story. And this Rebbe, he's talking about his student who's a great success now. He himself is a Rebbe, which the Israeli Haredi model, that's not the case. The model is you're learning for years and decades in Kollel, then maybe one day you'll be Rosh Kollel, Rosh Yeshiva, just a lowly Rebbe. It's a different perspective. And I'm not saying who's wrong is right. I'm not getting into sides at all. It's just the American Haredi model and the Israeli Haredi model are different models. And we'd have to have a separate series of shiurim analyzing the idea of preparing to be a learner-earner, which very often is the model in America. Here, the model is more to be a learner, full-time learner. Different models. The attitude towards the state. There's different attitudes towards the army. There's different attitudes there. And the wrong or right, that's another question. So I want to make a few points here. Number one, there's a lot of models that are set up in Am Yisrael. And then each one of us, that we're Shvatim. And within one Shevet, there's a subdivision of other Shvatim. And each Shevet has so much beauty to it. And each Shevet has challenges. The American Haredi has beauty and its challenges. Israeli Haredi model has beauty and they have their challenges, each one. Dati Leumi is beauty and with a challenge. Haredi Leumi, the Sephardic, each one has beauty. Each Shevet is beautiful with challenges. And my point here, number one, is that with even the Haredi world is divided into Anglo Haredi and Israeli Haredi. And each one needs to be looked into to see the merits and the challenges. But there's another point here. I introduced this year with the title, The Ramat Shemesh Bubble. The famous article in Mishpacha magazine a few years ago about the Ramat Shemesh Bubble. That many people here are living in a little bubble, sort of an escape from the rest of the Israeli world. And there's a certain truth to that. Many people looked at it as a critical article on the Ramat Shemesh community. Many people proudly say, yeah, I'm happy to live in the bubble. And there's a lot to look into there for sure. But one point I want to make is much of the Haredi bubble, the Ramat Shemesh bubble that was created, was because many Olim came who are Anglo Haredim, and they wanted to come join and identify with the Israeli Haredi world, but realize that it's not the exact same attitude to Medinat Yisrael, that it's a great bracha. It's not the Israeli Haredi model. It's the American Haredi model to be able to see, hey, we're in the Haredi world in America, but we see this Jewish sovereignty. This is something special. Challenges for sure, but having our own state, how many brachas that has led to. So that's an American Haredi idea. So many American Haredis came here and said, wait, we want to keep that idea. We want to show appreciation to Tzahal. Whether our kid's going to end or not, that's a whole other question. And that's a complicated topic in and of itself. But we want to have appreciation. Taz Yom Zikaron, a day commemorating the holy boys that died. For us to live here, oh my gosh, we want to express that. We want to go out to the stations, to the checkpoints, and give chocolates to them. Secular education, we want to have a high level of secular education. Yeah, it's not an embarrassment if our kids end up in law school one day. Hopefully without that scandal that the boy in the presentation had. But yeah, and we love if he's an learner, learning 3-4 hours a day, working 5, 6, 7 hours a day, and making a mechubad parnasah of his family. Yeah, we're good with that. We want the tznius that the Haredi world brings here, that qad on halacha. We want that the typical Israeli based medrash is filled up here, and night Haredi based filled up with people learning at night. We want that. So yeah, we want to take the model of American Charaidim, we want to bring it here. Hence the Ramat Shemesh bubble. So to me, what's so important is to be able to see how we are shvatim, and there's beauty in each shevet. And when we point, to me, the pointing should be seeing the beauty in the other shevet. And the 3 fingers that are pointing back to us should be able to see the beauty, 1 finger, 2 fingers to see the beauty in our own shevet, but to see the problems on our shevet as well. We don't have to point out other people's problems. Usually doesn't help. So to me, just to summarize, watching that video presentation of Chafetz Chaim, it screamed to me of American or Anglo Charaidim model. It's a beautiful model with a lot of success. Like any model, it can always have improvements for sure, like every shevet. And the model here, the Israeli Haredi model, is not the same. The Anglo Haredim came here to Ramat Beit Shemesh over the last 20 plus years and said, there's a lot of beauty in the Israeli Haredi model. Some people jumped right into it fully, hook, line, and sinker. Others said, you know what, we want to create an American Haredi model here at Ramat Beit Shemesh to have what we consider a healthy balance. And that's what's happened. And to me, that's all another beautiful step forward in our Geula process of the Jews coming home and bringing their cultures from around the world here and identifying with the culture here, but maybe adding on some things that they like. And that's all part of V'shav v'kibetzcha mikol hamin, the gathering of the Jews home, where we're working and we're struggling and trying to create the best possible society here. May Hashem bless us with bracha and hatzlacha and building beautiful Jewish Torah communities here in Eretz Yisrael, each community al pi darka. Shalom.